up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to come to you guys and give you a review on this book that I read. It's called The Untelling. This is my second time recording this because the first time I had a whole script. I think I was actually doing another book. So y'all, I have read about 20 books this year. So I have a huge backlog of books that I want to review, and I tried to record one and I just didn't like it. I just don't really know like the direction that I want to go in with reviews. Like, I don't know if I want to do like long form discussions or like quick tidbits to tell you guys about the book, but I'm just about to be trying stuff and like kind of just see what sticks. So the book that I wanted to tell you guys about today is The Untelling by Tayarijones. This book was so good. Pretty much the book is about, and I have my notes right here, guys, so I'm gonna just be looking at my notes, and I just want to tell you guys with some of like the common themes in the book. So the book is about like family trauma and like dysfunction. Like, so the main character in the book, her name is Ariadne, which is a bit of an odd name for like a young black girl, but her mom was one of those mothers that, oh, my lighting is, it's daylight and I don't know how to do this lighting. So her mother is one of those like bougie mothers that, you know, gave her kids these proper difficult types of names to try to give, you know, try to give her child status. The book is also about like shame. So a very like life-altering tragedy happens in the beginning of the book, and then we kind of see how Ariadne's life unfolds after that, and we see that the way that the situation affected her mother kind of creates this very dysfunctional relationship that causes Ariadne a lot of pain in her adulthood. So she talks a lot about being ashamed of like where she is in her life and different things like that. So shame is a big aspect of it. Definitely class differences. So pretty much Ariadne lives in, the book is based in Atlanta in like the late 80s, early 90s, I think, and she lives in the West End, what would be called the West End now, but in the time of the book it was just becoming gentrified. So she lives in like a nice house, but like it's crackheads walking up and down the street as well. So you kind of see those stark differences of like the white people who live in her neighborhood, the lower income people who live in her neighborhood, and her, where she's kind of pretty much in between. So I guess let me give like a summary of the book. So Ariadne Jackson, she is the middle of 3 children until one day, while on the way to her dance recital, her family gets into a car accident and her father dies, and so does her youngest sister, who was like an infant. And obviously it was the 80s and there wasn't like a lot of regulations around car seats. So I think I thought that was interesting for her to like put that in, because like that doesn't, I want to say it doesn't happen. Like people still pass from car crashes, but we don't really see kids passing away from like sitting in the front seat anymore. So I thought that was a interesting fact. And then her life goes, I said her life goes downhill as her mother struggles to cope with, and then her sister Hermione ends up marrying, their father's best friend, and the man's name is Mr. Fennessy. So one thing that I really love about Tayarijones is that she puts a lot of mess into her books. And like me personally, I do read a lot of like historical context and a lot of nonfiction. So like to read a book like this, I don't know, I just like a little bit of drama in the book, and she does that. She did it with An American Marriage. She did it with, I've read Silver Sparrow as well, and then The Untelling. I just love it. I just love the drama. I love mess. I love mess, as long as it's not in my life. But yeah, so I think it's really a good book, you guys. Like, it discusses like fertility and you know, just that weird part of your 20s where you're like, what am I supposed to be doing? And just, you know, her thinking about the pressure of trying to satisfy her mother, the pressure of having friends who are doing really well and wanting to mirror that or becoming jealous of that. I think those are all, you know, even though the book is from 30 years ago, or like the setting was 30 years ago from now, I think that people that age still struggle with things like that. And it was just a really interesting book. And I don't know, I would love to have more like dialogue discussions about the book, because like I have so many things that I loved about the book that I would love to discuss, but I don't know if that is necessarily like useful for you guys. I don't know if that's useful for you guys, especially if you haven't read the book. I would rather, like, if I'm going to discuss it in depth, I'd rather like everybody else have read the book as well. So like, this is, I don't know, this is just me telling you guys to go read the book, and then you can hit me up about it later. I'm always willing to talk about books. So overall, what I enjoyed about the book is that the rawness of like the main character Ariadne and the way that we see her face shame and embarrassment is particularly for me refreshing for me, especially in this time where people like only show, you know, with social media, people only show their best selves, which, you know, I'm not saying that people shouldn't, but it's nice to get like another perspective, like to see, to read stories about people being down and out. Like, I don't know, I just feel like that's needed. Like, everything is not peaches and cream in life, and it's okay to talk about that kind of stuff. So that's what I found to be refreshing about the book. But yeah, so I think that it's very much normal for her to have been feeling, you know, all of the feelings that she did feel. Not to say that she was always right, but yeah, so I definitely really enjoyed the book. You guys should check out The Untelling by Tayari Jones. It's a pretty quick read, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.